Shalom, dear friends from the nation. I welcome you as Hezron Evans from Nairobi, Kenya, to the journey through the scriptures. You are watching us through Injili ya Milele ya Yahshua Messiah, and as well as the Messianic Daval Show. That is our YouTube channels, and also as well as Facebook pages, the Messianic Daval Show, Yahweh Sacred Assembly, and also as well as Victor Kiiru Facebook pages. And also you may find my account, my Facebook page at Hezron Evans, and also YouTube channel. You may find us as Injili ya Milele ya Yahshua Messiah. Don't forget to subscribe and also comment, like, and share, and may Yahweh will do you good. We don't take it for granted because of your work, and also for your viewers, and also for your like, and also for your comment, and also for your sharing. Let me see, may Yahweh do you good and bless you. We are in the journey through the scriptures, through the word of Yahweh. So I welcome you back again and to the episode, the next episode of the book of Ezekiel. And I hope that Yahweh is going to do us good. And also remember that Yahweh is always there for us and through his scriptures as we are going to read it. Here is where we always say, Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu, Melech haolam, El Elyon El Shaddai, Yahweh Yireh, Yahweh Nisi, Yahweh Sekinu, Yahweh Shammah. Yahweh is everything to us. Baruch atah Yahweh, Eloheinu Melech haolam, Baruch Hashem Yahweh, Hoshana Bamlomim. Shema Yisrael Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad, Aveinu Shabashamai Yitzkadesh Shoncha, Tavo Marchutcha, Ani Hezron Evans, Nei Meod Lehakilotcha. Let's say, praise be the name of Yahweh, and Barak is who comes in the name of Yahweh. Hosanna in the highest. Sikiza, O Israel. Yahweh our Elohim, Yahweh is one. And the will of our Father to be done. And my name is Hezron once again. I'll be your host today through the book, through the scriptures of Yahweh, and also the journey through the scriptures. Welcome back again as we enter into the book of Ezekiel from chapter number 25 all the way to chapter number 48. I'll begin. And the word of Yahweh came to me saying, Son of man, turn your face against the Amorites and Nabah against them, and you shall say to them, Ammonites, hear the word of the Master Yahweh. Thus says the Master Yahweh, because you said, against my Mikdash, when it was profaned, and against the land of Israel, when it was ruined, and against the house of Yehuda, when they went into exile. Therefore, see, I am giving you as a possession to the men of the east, and they shall put their encampments among you, and make their dwellings among you, and they shall eat your fruit, and they shall drink your milk, and I shall make Rabbah a pasture of camels, and Ammon resting a place for flocks. And you shall know that I am Yahweh. For this is what the Master Yahweh said, because you clapped your hands, and you stamped your feet, and rejoiced with all the scorn of your being against the land of Israel. Therefore, see, I myself stretch out my hand against you, and give you as a plunder to the nations, and I shall cut off you from the peoples, and make you perish from the lands, and I shall destroy you, and you shall know that I am Yahweh. This is what says the Adon Yahweh, says, because Moab say and say, see, because of Yehuda is like all the Gentiles. Therefore, see, I am opening the flank of Moab on the side of the cities, on the side of these cities in its frontiers, and the splendor of the land. Bathe Yeshimoth, Baal Meon, and Kiriaradim, and I shall give it together with the Ammonites as a possession to the men of the east, to the Ammonites, and no more remembered among the nations. Also on Moab I execute judgments, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. Thus says the Adon Yahweh, because of that Edom has done against the house of Yehuda by taking vengeance, so that they became very guilty, and they have taken vengeance on them. Therefore, thus says the Master Yahweh, I shall stretch out my hand against Edom, and I shall cut off a man and beast, and from and lay it waste, from Teman and of the Dema, and they shall fall by the sword, and I shall lay my vengeance on Edom, and by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to my displeasure, and according to my wrath, so that they shall know my vengeance, declares the Adon Yahweh. Thus says the Adon Yahweh, because the Perishites have acted in vengeance, and took vengeance with scorning being, and destroy with lusty enmity. Therefore, thus says the Master Yahweh, see, I am stretching out my hand against the Perishites, and I shall cut off the Kerites, and destroy the remnant of the seacoast, and execute great vengeance of them with raging reproofs. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, when I lay my vengeance upon them. Ezekiel chapter number 26, verse 1. And it came to be in the 11th year, on the first of the month, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, because Saul has spoken against Jerusalem, she, the gateway of the peoples, has been broken. She has become turned over to me. Let me be filled. She has been ruined. Therefore, thus says the Master Yahweh, see, I am against you, O Saul, and you shall cause many nations to come up against you, and the sea causes its waves to come up, and they shall destroy the walls of Saul, and they shall break down her towers, and they shall scrap her dust from her, and shall make her a like shining rock. She shall be a praise for spreading nets in the midst of the sea, and for I have spoken, declares the Master Yahweh. And she shall become a plunder for the nations, while her daughter villages, which are in the fields, are slain by the sword, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. For thus says the Master Yahweh, see, I am bringing Saul from the north, Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, the sovereign of the sovereigns, with the horses and with chariots and with horsemen, and even assembly and many people. With the sword they shall slay your daughter villages in the fields, and he shall heap up the siege mold against you, and shall build a wall against you, and shall raise a large shield against you, and lay the blows of his battering lamps against you, your walls, and break down your towers with his weapons. From his many horses the Yada shall cover you, from the noise of the horsemen and wheels and chariots. Your walls shall shake as he enters, your gates as men enter into the city that is breached. With the hoofs of his horses he scrambles all your streets, and he strays your people by the sword. And the columns of your strength shall fall on the ground, and they shall plunder you riches, and they shall root your merchandise, and they shall break down your walls, and destroy your prison houses, and they shall put your stones and your timber and your dust in the midst of the water. And I shall cause the sound of your songs to cease, and let the sound of your lyres to be heard no more. And I shall make you like a shining rock, and let you be a place for spreading nets, never to be built. For I am Yahweh. I have spoken, declares the Master Yahweh. Thus is the Master Yahweh to Saul. Will the constants not shake at the sound of your fall, and when your wounded cry, and when the slaughter is made in your midst? And all the princes of the sea shall come down from their thrones, and they shall lay aside their robes, and take off their embroidered garments, and put on trembling, and sit on the ground, and they shall tremble continuously, and they shall be astonished at you. And they shall take up a lamentation for you, and say to you, you, however, you have perished, O inhabitant, and say, fearing of the city well praised, who was strong at the sea, she and her inhabitants, who put their fear on her inhabitants. Now the coastlands tremble on the day of your fall, and the coastlands of the sea shall shudder at your going out. For thus says the Adon Yahweh, when I make you a ruined city, like the city is no longer inhabited, when I bring the deep upon you, and the great waters cover you, then I shall bring you down with those who go down into the pit, to the people of old, and I shall make you dwell in the lowest part of the earth, and in the wastes of old, with those who go to the pit, and so that you do not return, but I shall establish my splendor in the land of the living. I make you a horror, and let you be no more. You are sought for, but never found again, declares the Master Yahweh. Ezekiel chapter number 27. The word of Yahweh came to me, saying, now, son of man, take up a lamentation for Saul, and you shall say to Saul, you dwell at the entrance of the sea, merchants of the peoples, of many coastlands. Thus they said, the Master Yahweh, O Saul, you yourself have said, I am perfect in loveliness. Your borders are in the heart of the seas. Your builders have perfected your loveliness, and they have made all your timbers for fir, trees for senil, and from the cedar from Lebanon to make a mast for you. From the oaks of Bashan they made your oars. They made your deck with ivory from the coast of Kittim, fine embroidered linen, and Mizraim wash your sail to serve you a banner of blue and purple from the coasts of Risham, and your covering the inhabitants of Sidon. And Awad were your seamen, your wise men also were in you, they were your sailors, the elders of Gebel and his wise men, and were in your repairing your seams, and all the ships of the sea, and their seamen were in you to trade your merchants. Those from Paras rode and put were in your army as men of battle. Shield and helmet they hung, and within you they gave the splendor to you. The sons of Awad and your army were on your walls and all around, and the Gamadites were in your towers. They hung and their shields on your walls, and all around they perfected your loveliness. Tarshish was your merchant because of your great wealth. They gave you silver, iron, tin, and reed, your merchandise, Yawan, Tubal, and Meshach, and were your traders. They exchanged the slaves and objects of bronze for your merchandise. From those from the house of Targam exchanged horses, and the horses and mules, and your merchandise, and the men Dedan traded with you, and many Isos were your market, and they thought your ivory trucks and ebony as payment. Alam was your merchant because the multitude of your works. They gave your emeralds, purple, and embroidered, and fine linen, and colors, and rubies of your wells. Yehuda, the land of Israel, were your traders, for your merchandise were exchanged for wheat and mineth, as are figs, and honey, and oil, and balm. Damascus was your merchant because of your multitude and your works, because of your great wealth and goods of the wine and Hebron, and with your white wool, Wedan and Yawan from Uzal paid for your wares. They exchanged out in iron cassia and a cane for your merchandise, and Dedan turned with you in saddle clothes for riding. Arabia and all the princes of Kedel were merchants for you, and the rams and lambs and goats they were your merchants. The traders of Sheba and Lama were your traders, and they paid for your wares, and with the choicest spices and all kinds of precious stones and gold and Haran and Canel, and Eden traders of Sheba and Ashur and Kilma traded with you. They traded with you in perfect items, in purple clothes, in embroidered garments, and chest and multi-colored clothes, in strong and trained cords. Among your merchants, the ship of Tarshish were the traversers of your merchandise, and you were filled richly laden in the heart of the seas. Your seamen brought you into many waters, but the east wind broke you in the heart of the seas. Your wealth and your whales and the merchandise and your marines and your sailors and your repairers and seams of your drillers in merchandise, and all your fighting men who are in you. And the entire company which is in the middle shall go down into the heart of the seas on the day of your fall. The coast shaking at the sound of the cry of your sailors, and all the oarsmen, the mariners, and all the sailors of the sea shall come down from their ship. They shall stand on the shore, and they shall raise their voice and cry bitterly over you, and cast dust over their heads, roaring themselves in ashes. And they shall shave themselves and bald, and because of you, and they shall guard themselves with sackcloth, and they shall weep for you with bitterness of the heart and bitter wailing. And in their wailing, for they shall take up lamentation, they shall lament for you, who is cut off in the midst of the sea like Saul, when your waters went on to by the sea. You have filled many peoples with your great wealth, and your merchandise you have made sovereigns of the earth to be rich. In the time you are broken by the seas in the depths of the waters, your merchandise and all your company shall fall in your midst, and all in the inhabitants of the earth shall be astonished at you, and the sovereign shall be greatly afraid, their faces shall be troubled. The merchants among the peoples shall whistle at you. You shall become a horror and be no more forever. Ezekiel chapter number 28. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, say to the prince of Soal, thus says the Adon Yahweh, because your heart is lifted up, and say, I am El, and in the seat of Elohim, in the heart of the seas, where is your Alaman, and not El. Though you make your heart as the heart of Elohim, look, you are wiser than Daniel. Has no secret been hidden from you? By your wisdom and your understanding you have made riches for yourself, and gathered gold and silver into your treasures, and by your great wisdom, by your trade. You have increased your riches, and your heart is lifted up because of your riches. Therefore, thus says the Master Yahweh, because you have made your heart as the heart of Elohim, therefore see, I am bringing against you the strangers, ruthless ones, the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the loveliness, against the loveliness of your wisdom, and they shall profane your splendor. Down into the pit they shall bring you, and you shall die. The death of the slain in the heart of the seas. Would you still say before him who slay you, I am Elohim, whereas you are a man, and not hell in the hand of him who slays you? The death of the uncircumcised you shall die. By the hand of the foreigners who I have spoken, declares the Adon Yahweh. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation for the sovereignty of Soal, and you shall say to him, thus says the Adon Yahweh, you were sailing up apart and complete in wisdom and perfect in loveliness. You are in Eden, the garden of Elohim. Every precious stone was your covering, the ruby, topaz, diamond, beryl, sohan, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and emerald, and gold. The workmanship of your cords and mountain was you are prepared for you on the day you are created. You are anointed cherub that covered, and all the and I praised you. You were on the Kadosh mountain of Elohim. You walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. You are perfect in your ways. From the day you were created until righteousness was found in you. By the greatness of your trade you became filled with the violence within, and you sinned. So I thrust you from the mountain of Elohim, and I destroyed you. O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire, your heart was lifted up because of your avarice and corrupted of your wisdom. For the sake of your splendor, I threw you into the earth, and I laid you before the sovereigns. And to look at you, you profaned your mikdashim by your many wickedness, by the unrighteousness of your trading. Therefore, I brought forth a fire from the midst, it has devoured you, and I turned you to ashes upon the earth before the eyes of all who sees, and all who knew you among the peoples were astonished at you, and waste, and you shall be, and cease be forever. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, turn your face towards Sidon, and Nabah against her. And you shall say, thus says the Master Yahweh, see, I am against you, Sidon, and I shall be esteemed in your midst. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, when I execute judgments in her, and I shall be Kadosh in her, and I shall send pestilence upon her, and blood in her streets, and the slain shall fall in the midst of by the sword, and against her from all the sides. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, and there shall no longer be a pricking briar and a pinning thorn in the house for the house of Israel from among all who are around them, who despise them. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, the Master Yahweh. Thus says the Master Yahweh, and I have gathered the house of Israel from the peoples among them, among who are scattered, and they shall be Kadosh in them before the eyes of the Gentiles, and they shall dwell in their own land, which I gave to my servant Yaakov. And they shall dwell safely and build houses and plant vineyards, and dwell safely when I execute judgments on all those who are around them, who despise them. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, the Elohim. Ezekiel chapter number 29, according to Hallelujah scriptures, as the word it says. In the 10th year, in the 10th month, on the 12th of the month, the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, turn your face against Pharaoh, the sovereign of Mizraim, and Nabah against him, and against Mizraim, and all of it. Speak, and you shall say, thus says the Master Yahweh, see, I am against you, O Pharaoh, sovereign of Mizraim, O great dragon, who rises in the midst of his rivers, who has said, my river is my own, and I have made it for myself, and I shall put hooks in your jaws. And I shall make the fish of your rivers cling of your scales, and I shall bring you up out of the midst of your rivers, and the fish in your rivers cling to your scales. And I shall leave you in the wilderness, you and all the fish of your rivers on the face of the earth, and the land shall fall, and you shall not be picked up and gathered. I shall give you as a food for the beasts in the field, and for the birds of the Shemaim. And all the inhabitants of the Mishraim shall know that I am Yahweh, because they have been a staff of reed of the house of Israel. When they grasped you with the hand, you broke and tore all your shoulders when they leaned on you, and broke and made their own shake. Therefore, thus says the Master Yahweh, see, I am bringing a sword upon you, and he shall cut you off from you, a man and a beast, and the land of Mizraim shall become a desert and a waste. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, because he said, the river is mine, and I have made it. Therefore, see, I am against you and against your rivers, and you shall make the land of Mizraim an utter waste and a desert, from Migdol, as Siwena, and also as the border of Cush. No foot of man shall pass through it, no foot of the beast shall pass through it, neither shall it be inhabited for 40 years. And I shall make the land of Mizraim a desert in the midst of the lands, and there are the waste, and there among the cities that I'll win. The city shall be a waste 40 years, and they shall scatter the Israelites among the nations, and they shall disperse them throughout their lands. For that says the Master Yahweh, at the end of the 40 years I shall gather the Israelites from the peoples among whom they were scattered. They shall turn back the captivity in Mizraim, and they shall bring them back to the land of Pathros and to the land of the Yabad, and they shall be the Arori rain, being the lowest of reigns, and never again exalt itself above the nation. And they shall make them few, so as not to rule over the nation. And no longer is it to be the refuge of the house of Israel, bringing and to remember us their wickedness when they turned to follow them. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, the Elohim. And it came to be in the 27th year, in the first month of the first of the month, that the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, Nebuchadnezzar made as an army to serve a great service against Saul. Every head was made bald, and every shoulder worn bare, but he and his army received no reward from Saul from the service he served against it. And therefore, that says the Master Yahweh, see, I am giving the land of Mizraim to Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, and he shall take away her wealth and take her spoil and remove her pillage, and it shall be a reward for his army. And I have given him the land of Mizraim as a reward for his labor, because they worked for me, declares the Master Yahweh. In the day I shall make the horn of the house of Israel to spring forth, while I open your mouth to speak in their midst, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. Ezekiel chapter number 30, according to Hallelujah Scriptures. And the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, abide and say, thus says the Master Yahweh, how woe to the day, for the day is near, even the day of Yahweh is near. It is the day of the crowds, the time of the nations. The sword shall come upon Mizraim, and the great anguish shall be in Cush when the strain fall in Mizraim. And they take away her wealth and her foundations, and broken down Cush, Putrud, and all mixed people, and Kub, and all the sons of the land of the covenant shall fall with them by the sword. Thus says the Master Yahweh, those who lean on Mizraim shall fall, and the pride of her power shall come down from Migdol and Siwene, and those within her shall fall by the sword, declares Yahweh. And they shall be ruined in the midst, and the wasted, and all lands, and their cities shall be in the midst of the cities that are dripped up. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, when I have lit a fire in Mizraim, and all her helpers are crushed. And though that the messengers go forth before him in ships, make the complacent Cushites afraid, and the great anguish and shall come upon them. And on the day of Mizraim for rock, it is coming. Thus says the Master Yahweh, I shall cause the crowd of Mizraim to cease by the land of Nebuchadnezzar, sovereign of Babel, and he and his people with him, and rudeness ones of the nations, and brought to destroy the land. And they shall drill their swords against Mizraim, and they shall fill the land with the slain. And I shall make the rivers dry, and I shall sell the land into the hand of the evil ones. And I shall lay the land waste, and all that is in it, in the hand of foreigners. And I Yahweh have spoken. Thus says the Master Yahweh, I shall destroy the idols, and make the end of the images enough. And there shall no longer be a prince from the land of Mizraim, and they shall put fear in the land of Mizraim, and they shall make Pathros a waste, and they shall write a fire in Soan, and they shall execute judgments in No, and I shall pour out my wrath on sin, the stronghold of Mizraim, and I shall cut off the crowd of No, and I shall write a fire in Mizraim. Sin shall we wraith in anguish, and No is in spread open, and No as the adversaries daily, the young men of Owen, and Pi Besed shall fall by the sword, while these cities go into captivity. And in Tephannhes the day shall be darkened when I shatter the yokes of Mizraim there, and the pride of her strength shall cease in her, and crowd shall cover her, and her daughters shall go into captivity, and they shall execute judgments on Mizraim, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. And it came to be in the 11th year, in the first month, on the 7th of the month, that the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, I have broken the army of Pharaoh, sovereign of Mizraim, and see, it has not been bound up for hearing, to put a bondage and bind it, to make it strong, to hold a sword. Therefore, thus says the Master Yahweh, see, I am against Pharaoh, the sovereign of Mizraim, and he shall break his arms, both the strong one and the one that was broken, and shall make the sword fall out of his hand, and he shall scatter the Mizraelites among the nations, and disperse them through the lands, and strengthen the arms of the sovereign of Babel. And I shall put my sword in his hand, and I shall break Pharaoh's arms, and he shall groan before him, the groanings of the string before him. And I shall strengthen the arms of the sovereign of Babel, put the arms of Pharaoh, and they shall fall. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, when I put my sword into the hand of the sovereign of Babel, and he stretch it out against the land of Mizraim. And I shall scatter the Mizraelites among the nations, and I shall disperse them throughout the lands, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. Ezekiel chapter number 31, according to Hallelujah Scriptures. And it came to be in the 11th year, in the 3rd month of the first of the month, of the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, say to Pharaoh, sovereign of Mizraim, and his crowd, to whom are you to be compared in your greatness? See, Ashur was a cedar in Lebanon, lovely branches and forest and shade and high in stature, and in its top was among the thick forage. The waters made him great, and deep grave it hated, with its rivers running around its planting, and sent the yachalness to all the trees of the field. Therefore its height was lifted up above all the trees of the field, and its boughs were increased in branches, and the branches and became wrong because of the many waters, as it sent them out. And all the birds of the Shammai made its nets and its boughs under its branches, and all the beasts of the field gave birth, and its shadow all great nations. And it was lovely in greatness and in the length of the branches, for its roots were rich to many waters. Said as in the garden of Elohim did not hide, far trees were not like the boughs, and the chestnuts, the trees were not like the branches, nor the tree of the garden of Elohim was pretty as it. And I made it pretty by its many branches, so that all the trees of the Eden which were in the garden of Elohim were jealous of it. Therefore thus says the Master Yahweh, because you have increased in height and increased in the top of among the thick forage, and its heart was lifted up again in its head, I give it to the hand of the mighty one of the nations, and they shall certainly deal with it. And I have driven it out for its wickedness. And the foreigners, those of the most ruthless of the nations, shall cut it down and reap it. Its branches shall fall on the mountains and in the valleys, and its boughs shall be broken by all the rivers in the land, and all the peoples of the earth shall come from under its shadow and reap it. On its ruin shall dwell all the birds of the Shamaim, and all the beasts of the field shall be on its branches, so that none of the trees by the waters would exalt themselves because of their height, nor praise of their tops among their forage, and that no tree which breaks water will be even enough to reach up to them, for all them shall be given up to death, to the depth of the earth among the children of men. We go down to the pit. Thus is the Master Yahweh, in the day when it is brought down to the grave, I shall cause mourning, and I shall cover the deep because of it, and hold back its streams, and many waters shall be confined. And I shall make Lebanon mourn for it, and all the trees of the field shall wither away because of it. And I shall make the nation shake at the sound of its fall, when I bring it down to the grave together with those who descend into the pit. And all the trees of Eden, the choice of the best of the Lebanon, and all the drink of the water be comforted in the depths of the earth. They too shall go down to the grave with it, and with those who slain by the sword, and those who were in its strength shall dwell in its shadows among the nations, to whom am to be compared in all the esteem and greatness among the trees in Eden. But you shall be brought down with the trees of Eden to the depths of the earth. Lie in the midst of the uncircumcised with those slain by the sword. This is Pharaoh and all his crowd, declares the Master Yahweh. Ezekiel chapter number 32. And it came to be in the 12th year, in the 12th month, on the first of the month, that the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation to Pharaoh the sovereign of Mizraim, and you shall say to him, You are like a young lion among the nations, and you are like a dragon in the seas. And you burst forth in your rivers, and trouble the waters with your feet, and muddy your rivers. They said, the Master Yahweh, I shall spread my net over you with an assembly of many peoples, and they shall bring you up in my net, and they shall reave you on the land, and haul you out in the open fields, and make all the birds of the Shamaim dwell upon you. And they shall satisfy the beasts of all the earth, and they shall put your flesh on the mountains, and fill the valleys with your hide, and the waters of the land with your flow and of your blood unto the mountains, and let your streams be filled with you. And when I extinguish you, I shall cover the Shamaim and make its stars dark.